quickly request Rizwan sir to come online. He had some technical problems. Are you there, RR sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Over to
Very
you.
much there.
Yeah.
First of all, let me congratulate Imtiaz for bringing his second edition. I hope this book will bring better knowledge to the collectors and also bring in new collectors into the for to get this wonderful hobby going. And I also thank Amarbeer for moderating today's meeting. And I joined when Sachin was doing his presentation. Uh, one more bit I want to add because this is very important for all to know why the prefixes are jumbled up. What we call as mule. In the case of Subbarao to Raghuram Rajan, it is clear everyone knows that he ended his term in 2013, and Raghuram Rajan was there from governor from that date onwards. However, 2014 when Subbarao notes came, I was in Mysore in the press itself that evening when I pointed this to them. There was a hullabaloo in the whole press. They went into a huddle. Obviously, they forgot to change the date or change the plate and as 13. If that 13 remained, there wouldn't have been a problem. It is that they kept the front plate and didn't change the back plate. The date in the back plate, they changed it to 2014. That's what caused it. And also, they were wanting to withdraw this from issue, but like Sachin said, the value of the notes was so high, and also cost of printing, they didn't want to waste money. They got a legal opinion saying that legally it is legal tender, and hence these notes should be not destroyed but put into circulation, as it has no insignificant uh, problem in this date change. Anyway, when I was in the press, I also learned something which I will tell you what really happens and how mule notes are also created. This is one of the things that I saw. I don't know about the different backplate, but here what happens is the notes are printed completely. The sheets are printed completely. Now to the guy, and the numbering happens much later. The, what really happens is the sheets are printed, completely printed, and put in the put in the put in the strong room in the vault. The numbering and cutting process happens much later. It happens maybe a day later, 1 week later, a month later. We don't know. So now, what happens is when the new notes are printed, when there's a date change, say from year to 2009, like in the case of 5 rupees to 2010, the 2010 notes take precedence and then they are cut, printed, and whatever. Unfortunately, there are some sheets left behind, pre-printed sheets that are left behind in the press. They don't really see whether the date is 2009 or 2010, 2009 or 2010. That's why you have this some notes that of 2009 printed much later than 2010, and that's how these the numbers are prefix numbers are jumbled, and that's how it's created. They don't have a separate plate. They are already pre-printed and kept in the in the wall. It's only the numbering that happens later. If the date was not there at the back, such a occurrence would never have occurred. To me, in my head, mule means uh, the case of Subbarao in the year 2014. Of course, sequencing of prefixes also now considered a mule, so be it. It does give another opportunity for collectors to go into this version of collection. It also makes the prefixes a very, prefix collection a bigger and a better hobby. Since we are run out of time and we already exceeded the allotted time of 1 hour and it's 12:15, I wish Imtiaz the very best. And I thank the co-host. I thank Falcon, Mr. Hardik. I thank Sachin, and and a warm congratulations to Imtiaz. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I just wanted to add, Rizwan Saab's lunch is also calling him continuously.
Yeah, no, that is chicken biryani, sir.
Yeah, but the chicken is still calling. Yeah.
He's saying I'm ready. Chicken biryani saying I'm ready.
Not getting
no, I think
is coming.
No, we are doing good on time. We intended this to be till 12:30. So,
yes,
in
sir,
case
you can
I have also some. I have another engagement. Actually, we're having a small ceremony in my son's house. So I also need to be there at 12:30. So it's time for me to leave. And thank you all for hearing me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining.
Sachin, a nice presentation and very informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Mr. Rizwan Razak, and of course, I think he cannot stay with us for the rest. So we got just one more thing pending, and this is I just wanted to give everybody a little bit of insight on Hyderabad banknotes. Yeah. So now before I start, just wanted to acknowledge, the fact that of course, a lot has changed in the last, I would say, two and a half decades. Because I remember Hyderabad banknotes, in big catalogs was put in some kind of a specialized catalog, and people never really know about it, that what they're all about, and information around them was extremely limited. Of course, things changed. I spoke about, Kishorji's comprehensive catalog, which came out in the year 2000, April 2000, so exactly 21 years back, which actually, put the chapter, along with the other, aspects of the India banknotes. Presidency, British, Gulf and Hajj, Portuguese, French, Jammu Kashmir, Hyderabad. So I think it started getting a lot of traction from that time onwards, and I'm very happy to see that we have come to a stage now, where the collectors for Hyderabad notes has, the number has proliferated across the globe. It is not just a limited people, in limited pockets collecting it, but a lot has, gone into people, willing to understand more about it, willing to know more about it, willing to collect these ones. Yeah. So I have a, a small presentation, where I'll just quickly, give you inputs about the Hyderabad banknotes. Yeah. Now, so of course, princely states were not allowed to print their own banknotes, and of course, after 1861, there was nobody except the government of India who was authorized to print and issue banknotes in India. But this changed slightly during World War One, where Hyderabad, the largest princely state in India, which was, and of course, the entire world was reeling under shortage of metal, and the demand of the money market was such that it was now felt that paper currency needs to be issued, and the Hyderabad Paper Currency Act was proposed, which was given the assent of the Nizam at that time, the seventh Nizam, Mir Osman Ali Khan, in 1918. Now, very interesting to know that Hyderabad currency is probably the only currency in the world which is named after a person. Osmania currency, which comes from the name of the person himself, Osman. Anyway, so designs were sought from leading international banknote printers, Thomas De La Rue, Waterloo and Sons, Bradbury Wilkinson, and finally Waterloo designs were the ones which are found most suitable. The 1 and 5 rupee notes were issued, the 10 and 100 were issued initially in 1918, followed by 1 and 5 in 1919. Rupee 1000 came much later in 1926. I can't change the slide. Okay. So if you see there is a cablegram, this is something which I, during my research, I stumbled upon this one, where it was, at letter dated 21st September 1917, sent to Waterloo and Sons to say that, yes, we would want to place the order of 10 rupee notes on you. Yeah. And the result of this was that you see what on screen, the initial series of 1, 5 and 10 rupee notes, which were printed in London and shipped all the way, and finally they were stamped with the Hyderabad finance members, equivalent to the finance minister's signature, and issued in Hyderabad. What you see is 1, 5, 10 on this slide, and the other slide has got 10 and 100. 1 rupee currency note, the initial note which you have seen in this slide was not popular for various reasons. One, that 1 rupee was intended to be used by the local population, by most of the people who were very, very accustomed to seeing a metal uh, coin, which intrinsically had the value of 1 rupee in it. At least the value of silver was there in this. So this was a piece of paper. So a lot of issues. This was also dark in color. People used to call it mangoose, yeah, which is and slowly what happened was it just lost traction and acceptability. It was discounted in the market for as low as accepted for about 12 or 13 annas for a rupee, and eventually it was decided that this note will be withdrawn from the circulation at all. So 1919 it was issued. 1920 it was withdrawn, and it was finally the entire stock was destroyed in 1939. There's also a history of sea salvage notes. We heard from Imtiaz. Listen, they are like British Indian sea sunk notes. There's also a history of sea sunk notes for Hyderabad. What you see is a photo of the ship which was carrying these notes, 5 rupee, 10 rupee, 100 rupee notes. And the ship went down. It was hit by another vessel. It went down in the English Channel, and the notes were salvaged 10 years after being submerged in the sea. So that also shows us, the quality of printing these had, that they came about near intact. So what you see on the screens are the notes which were actually underwater, under saline seawater for almost a decade when they were fished out. And if you see, their features haven't changed. You see those odd marks around them. In the 5 rupee note, there is a small foxing mark on the top right hand side of thing, stain mark, something a little bit on the bottom. 10 rupee has something on the left hand side. 100 rupee, is a much better condition. It has, not got any other marks on this one. So, pretty much, served. And, and people who have these notes in the collection would see that, they are still, worth being put into circulation. There are such a good printing was done even in that time. Yeah. Now, of course, because of various political pressures, economic pressures, wartime situations, time and safety issues, the order was now given to the Nasik press, who would now print the second series of Hyderabad notes. If you remember, 1 rupee was not issued. It was 1 rupee was recalled and destroyed in 1936. Order was given for 5, 10, 100, and 1,000. But of course, again, war pressures, metal pressures. 1 rupee note also was asked to be printed by Nasik, but Nasik refused because they said they cannot take any more orders. And this was a case where the notes were printed at the government press in Hyderabad itself, which was till now printing only the government related publications and other notices and other stuff. It was the first time for them also to print notes, and they did a very good job out of it. So what you see on the screen are 5 and 10 rupee notes of Nasik, the second series of Hyderabad, 10 and 100, 100 and 1,000 from Nasik again. And of course, I spoke about 1 rupee note, which was printed, in Hyderabad itself, issued in 1943, and these were issued all the way up to 1954. Now, at the time of, I'm skipping this in the interest of time. You'll find most of the information in Imtiaz's book as well. Now, even after Hyderabad was annexed by the Union of India and made part of the Indian government, the currency in Hyderabad was allowed to circulate for a much longer time because a sudden demonetization would have impacted, a lot of common people. And so initially, though, on 26 January 1950, during the financial integration, Hyderabad was made part of, formally acceded to the Indian Union. Indian currency became legal tender in Hyderabad as well. And it was only in 1954 that an ordinance was issued to say that from 1955, 1st April, Hyderabad currency will cease to be the legal tender. However, public got time till as late as 1959 to exchange any leftover Hyderabad currency with the Indian government currency at the ratio of 6 is to. I think somebody muted me, but that is the end of my presentation. And I would now hand it over back to Imtiaz with a big
Okay, sir.
congratulations.
Thank you, sir. There are
Big
some.
congratulations once again, Imtiaz, for the feat you have done. In 2 years of time, 3 years of time, within 3 years you have come out with the second edition.
Thank you.
I'm very eagerly awaiting your copy to be in my hand, so I look forward to it. So I know you have shared something with me. I have the Hyderabad chapter with me, some earlier parts in it. I think it has taken a good shape, and I thank you for bringing this out, in the interest of the larger fraternity. And congratulations to you and everybody else who helped you reach here. And we're looking forward to your next mission. What do you think, Mimtaz? What are you going to work on in the next 2 or 3 years?
Next,
What is it that?
actually, I just thinking that I have to improve. If any feedback coming from after getting hand, if there are any mistakes or anything modification needed, I will note it down all those things, and in future I would like to improve much and more, because 100% is never possible to complete in case of prefix book, because many things is still yet to be invent. Lot of thing I invented in this last 3 years, because lot of unlisted prefixes is I have mentioned already. So many still yet to invent. That's why we will work together in future. And thanks to you also, Amarveer sir, that is you helped me a lot for making the Hyderabad grand success in this book, and making noted all those prefixes cut off, and your collection also very vast. And I know that how much you collected about your special about Hyderabad. And if anybody wanted to question about Hyderabad anything, they can contact to Mr. Amarveer sir. And
Yeah, most welcome, most welcome. And again, Imtiaz, I mean, again, like Shashan said, it's not about big or small. I think everything, anybody who's trying to collect and read or learn anything out of it, and most importantly, trying to tell the world what it is all about. Yeah, not
Hardik,
to keep that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that is what it is. I think there's no big or small collections. I think it is all how much effort anybody has put in to take it to the wider fraternity, and how many people have learned from it. I think that is what makes it, and that's where I think, that's why I keep Kishorji on such a high platform, because the work he has done over the years, and then followed by Rizwan Saab, of course, the work you have done in Imtiaz, Shashin. Like I said, I haven't known him, but again, I really appreciate the work he has done, and I'm looking to learn more about this aspect in the coming weeks. So I think all of this comes together as one big thing, and it's a I would say a joint celebration, a joint success. Imtiaz, of course, you're in the forefront today, but yes, I think it is a success of the fraternity of everybody. So I'll congratulate not just you but everybody.
Thank you, Imtiaz ji. I would like to thank Rizwan sir, Amarveer sir, Sushi Mehta ji, and Imtiaz ji. And I would like to also thank Rajgyani sir and Manpreet ji. They will be making this entire episode live on YouTube. They have a huge number of viewers, so this will definitely go to a lot of people. And we are also making the entire session live on Facebook. So anybody who can just who wants to view the session again can go on Falcon Coins page and view the entire session again.
भाई मेरी तरफ से भी आप सभी को, पूरी टीम को, हार्दिक भाई को, लोग जुड़े हैं, उन सभी का दिल से धन्यवाद, शुक्रिया। आप लोग आए, और पहली बार मैंने ऐसा देखा कि जूम मीटिंग पे वेटिंग में ज्यादा हैं, जितने मतलब अपनी क्वांटिटी फुल हो गई है, उसके बाद में भी वेटिंग में लोग हैं पूरे टाइम तक। अगली बार बढ़ाइए क्वांटिटी बढ़ाइए अगली बार।
Yeah, definitely. I think
we never we thought that we will also make it on live on other platforms. Definitely from the next meeting we'll have a good number of we'll have maybe 1,000 participants limit, so we can have as many people as
we must do that. Yeah, we must do that. And Raji, we maybe we can take the lead. I've seen some of your videos, and very informative and very engaging. I think you should also step up. From your side, you can. We can always speak to all the societies and the network to see that we can have these sessions which where we can have learn more about more from you and more through you, because you have a wide network, you have got a large following base. I think you have done some groundbreaking work in this field which can help the fraternity in multifold ways. So we look forward to your inputs, contribution as well, much more than what you're doing today.
Thank you sir.
Thank you. Okay, ji, thank you all.
So we'll just conclude the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you.
Bye all. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.